Yeah, yo. Got it. Oh, I love the background. I would have a background if I could get it on my desk, on my laptop, but of course, for some reason, that's not going to work tonight. But yeah, how you guys doing?
Okay, good. I like the old school push-up roof.
Oh, my you talking about my drop ceiling over
Your
here?
roof.
Yep.
Yes, your drop ceiling old school, bruh.
Yep. It's actually
The
useful
audio
because
from your
Yep. Can you hear me?
yeah, the audio coming good from our side.
Yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Waiting for a couple more people, yeah.
Yeah, we just talk story and have it record, and then we can work from there. They join.
Okay.
Yeah. So the purpose for this is when I look at what has to happen for like economic recovery, we gotta help each other.
Mm-hmm.
Else this is not gonna work. Like, you know, I hear everybody saying open the hotels and do all of that, and yes, but truthfully, that's probably not happening for a while. So how do we hold serve? How do we begin the recovery without that? Yeah. And so, so the idea is, you know, if you look like on the Facebook page, coronavirus hub and all of that, plenty of people complaining, right? So I get it, but that doesn't help us do anything. So I think that we have to connect others to each other. So like your guys' business, putting people on notice that, hey, you guys are out there, you guys are still working, still grinding, trying to do stuff. It's still, you know, kids are still graduating. So
yeah,
and you have found a way to still make that a memorable experience for them, regardless of having it in a ballroom with 200 of my closest friends and whatnot, right? So I think that's important to get out there and like get out your guys' story. So the idea is to record this, ask some questions, throw it up on Facebook, and just keep on posting it so that people can see that's what's going on. Then record another person and whatnot. Right now, the question becomes, what do I get out of this? Well, hopefully by connecting people and being a connector, then that gives goodwill and people see me in a light so that, you know, if they want to buy a house later on down the road, it's fine. But also, if the economy sucks, nobody's buying houses. Nobody's buying anything, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Because it's the single largest purchase you make, right? So, man, if you can't afford bread for your kids, you're not buying a house.
Exactly.
Right? So, like, that's what I mean. Just like everybody's got to help everybody, else it doesn't work. It's not gonna work. Yeah. So that's kind of the purpose of this. And so it's just asking you guys questions like, how did you guys start? You know, where did From Above Entertainment come from? Was, you know, from idea to what you guys are doing now. You know, just help us tell your story.
Julie's actually gonna tell the full story of our company, so she's been practicing.
Oh, that's awesome.
So we've been in business.
Wait, hold on. Is he recording? Are you recording now?
Yeah.
Recording.
Yeah, I'm recording.
Okay.
So we've been in business for 4 years now. How we actually started our business was we were both working on jobs, and Wes was emceeing. Well, how he started emceeing was when he was 17. He started emceeing in the nightclub industry, doing a lot of car shows. And then when we met, he actually wanted to give up emceeing because he just thought all he was good for was being a car show MC, and he didn't see any value in that anymore. So, and I would go support him at all his events at all the car shows. I would be backstage just supporting him, and I could just see that he had a gift. Like, to be able to go on stage and to talk to hundreds and thousands of people and just be able to entertain them and engage them, that's a gift. Like, for me, I'm a behind the scenes kind of person. I do not like to do public speaking. So when he told me he wanted to just give it up and just work, an odd-end job, I was like, no, you have a gift. You need to pursue it, and I kept pushing him, like, why don't you do weddings and birthday parties? And he was very hard-headed for a few months. But God's perfect timing, we were going to church, and Greg Hammer from Created 96, him and his wife Shani were actually attending our church, and he became a pastor at our church. So he shared his testimony, and it was just like chicken skin testimony of when he hit rock bottom, and that was just like perfect timing, because that's when Wes was wrestling and dealing with, if he should give up emceeing or not. So after he shared his testimony, he talked to Greg, and he finally found somebody that could understand where he was coming from. So he actually helped mentor him, and we joined their marriage group and everything. So that's how it kind of started. Do you want to go on with the rest of the story?
Is the lighting okay? Sorry to stop this whole thing, but is the lighting okay on your side?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just making sure, because I'm looking at it. It looks like we're so dark on our side. So the gist of it is what Julie pretty much said. I was super hard head. She's like, let's start a business. And I said, nah, I'm good. Like, what do I know to start a business? She's like, oh, you have a God-given gift. And I was like, okay, so what is my gift? She's like, MC. And I was like, it's not a gift. Anybody can MC. Anybody can grab a mic and talk story and make people laugh. It's like, I'm not special. I'm nobody known. I'm just me, and I know what I can do. But for the longest time, for about 6 months, she tried day in and day out, saying, let's start a business, and I kept brushing it off left and right. So that's when she jumps into the story with Greg Hammer. So Greg and Shawnee have played a big foundation laying for our business. They're the very first ones that actually helped us start our business. If you don't know who Greg and Shawnee Hammer are, hold on, I got something. So if you don't know who Greg and Shawnee Hammer are, they are. Wait,
Cannot see it.
Oh. Okay, wait, hold on. We're gonna redo this. Yeah, the background is throwing me off at the same time.
Yeah. So if we want to restart, we can restart.
Yeah, we are gonna have to restart, because I gotta. How do you take the background off?
While you're doing that, I'm gonna talk to Julie.
Yeah.
So Julie.
Yeah.
So Julie, you see this gift that you recognize in this young man, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
When he was 8th grade.
Shut up.
I met him, and we used to do a morning assembly and an afternoon assembly, which is basically to waste time the afternoon assembly is to waste time while you switch shifts. But junior leaders don't switch shifts. They work all day, all night. So there's 2 things that I learned about Wes really quickly. One, Wes Nakano can work all day, all night.
What is that?
He can grind.
Oh, yeah.
So we say that commitment things like, oh, I went at 5:30 a.m. we finished 4:30 p.m. He's been doing that without getting paid for a long time. So then the second thing is the gift that you see. He could get 200 kids to do what he wanted them to do. In 8th grade. In 8th grade, he could do that. He could get them to do what he wanted them to do. And then Wes has very little shame. So used to have this lost and found.
I remember you told me that.
And he would always want to do it. Nobody else would want to do it.
He would wear those things and walk across the room.
Yeah. So it's amazing that he'd be the only guy. Like, it was a punishment for the rest of the junior leaders, but he would want to do it. And then the other thing is, I felt kids were leaving stuff
On purpose.
to see if Wes would wear it. Like the
I know
last
you know Ryan Matsumoto, DJ Edit.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
know him
DJ.
too, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
said
yeah,
he's
yeah.
known Wes since back then from YMCA days, and I was like, wow. So
Yeah. So like it's awesome that this is the avenue that he's found to, and thank you for helping him recognize that it is special.
Kick his butt so many times because he was so stubborn and he didn't see it in himself. And
Yeah.
and that's how it's just crazy how God made everything work out.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I mean, it's awesome. Okay, Wes, how's your lighting?
Yeah, hold on. Irritating me.
oh my
I know.
gosh.
I know. This is the other thing with Wes. It's gotta be good, else you don't want to do it. Yeah, Wes. If it's not done well, you don't like to do it. Yeah, Wes.
Okay.
We good?
Okay, we can start again. So Julie, oh yeah.
Wait.
Yeah.
Oh, are you gonna edit it?
You ready? All right. So, you good?
There we go. Wait. There we go. Okay. Now we go.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Okay, so we'll start from the beginning again.
Okay.
Wes, you gotta come a little bit more to my left. Yeah, there we go.
Can you see us better now?
Yep.
Okay.
So, once again, good evening. Thank you for joining us. The reason for doing this recording is we are working as we watch us begin to come out of this coronavirus and this pandemic, and maybe see the light at the end of the tunnel. The big question is, now what? What do we do? And I believe that we as locals in Hawaii need to work together. So the purpose of this video is just to highlight local businesses with local people who may need their services. So right now we have Wes and Julie Nakano from Above Entertainment, and they're gonna tell us a little bit about what they do, and then we're just gonna talk story a little bit. So yeah, the first question for our little meeting here is, tell us about From Above Entertainment and how you guys got started.
Wait, before she starts, I want to say thank you to Noah for doing this for us. Thank you, Noah, for interviewing us, and thank you for taking your time out of your day. And my beautiful wife will tell our story.
Mobile entertainment company. We do weddings, birthday parties, graduations, corporates, any type of events. We provide MC, DJ, photo booth, lighting, monogram service. That's basically it. And our business started 4 years ago. So we started 4 years ago, and how we started was Wes was working odd end jobs, and he actually started emceeing when he was 17 years old at the nightclubs and car shows, and he wanted to give up emceeing. So I would go and support him and be backstage and support him, but so I told him that he had a gift and he shouldn't give up emceeing.
Wait, can we start again? Sorry. You gotta keep looking at the camera. I know, but you gotta look at the camera. Sorry, Noah.
No worries. Don't worry. Don't worry. You can be patient with me. I can easily be patient with you.
Look at
we
the
all
camera.
know that I do crazy stuff too. But yeah. Okay, wait. Try hold on real quick.
People. You gotta look at the camera.
No worries. Let me try and get these guys on real quick. I didn't realize they've been texting me over and over again.
You can't, like, when he plays it, it's gonna be looking straight at the screen. You gotta look at them so you're talking to them. I know. That's what we're supposed. That's what we're yeah.
275.
I just think the laptop one. It was fun. Yeah, but I don't see that.
Okay, hold on 1 second. Let me try it this way then.
Good. So no, she normally doesn't do the intro, and I told her forcefully she had to do it tonight because she doesn't like doing the talking part.
And you're doing fine.
Yes, thank you. No, see, everybody that works for me says you would be doing fine, but she always like, I don't want to talk. I look stupid on camera.
You're doing fine.
See?
All right, let me see this real quick. Hey, Wes, you remember what the password was?
003 003836.
Password 00
3836.
All right. All right, I'm back. Okay,
Okay.
see if they get on. If they get on, they get on. If they don't get on, they don't get on.
Yeah.
Oh, right there, somebody's there. All right. So let's try this, Julie. Let me sit back down in my seat. All right. Let's shoot this again.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you for joining us. The purpose of this interview is to, as we see the light at the end of the tunnel for the coronavirus, COVID-19, whatever you want to call it, as we look to rebuild our economy, the question becomes, now what? What are we going to do? And I believe that it's really going to be about locals helping locals. So the purpose of this meeting is to introduce local businesses to people out there who may be looking for their services, and us discussing how the coronavirus has affected them, so that we can understand that, hey, we're all in this together. We all have to stand together in order for this to work. And so tonight, our first interview is with Wes and Julie Nakano from Above Entertainment. Wes and Julie, thank you for joining us. Can you tell us a little bit about From Above Entertainment and, share your story?
From Above Entertainment is a mobile entertainment company. We do birthday parties, weddings, graduations, corporate events, any type of events. We provide
Anything that you need loud music, we can do.
MC, lighting, photo booth, monogram. So we like to have fun. That's what we do.
Awesome. And how did you guys get started in this?
So our business is actually 4 years old. And how our business started was we were actually both working odd-end jobs. And Wes, one day, well, a little background about Wes. He started emceeing at the age of 17 at Venus nightclub. He was at nightclubs and doing a lot of car shows. And I would go support him and be backstage at at all his car shows and stuff. And one day, when we started going to church more, we were getting more connected in the Word and stuff. So one day he was just like, I don't want to MC anymore. I want to give it up, and I just want to work. and provide for the family. So me, you know, being there supporting him throughout the years, I was like, you have a gift. Like, you cannot give up what you have, because I would sit back there and just see him like connecting with hundreds and thousands of people on stage. And to me, that's a really big gift, because I'm the behind the scenes kind of person, and I don't like, you know, public speaking. So
this is her actual first time like public speaking. Even though we're doing this call, like this is very nerve wracking for her. So I give her credit because usually she's talking to clients on the phone or through email. So to sit in front of both of you, like this is a big step for her alone. Yes, okay, fine, I'll take over then. So, yeah, my wife said I started in 17, so for about 10 to 12 years, I ran in the nightclub scene. I pretty much was at any nightclub you can think of, emceeing. I
in a radio show.
Yeah, I had my own radio show on the original 1027 The Bomb. And I just did the radio thing. That's who I was, Wild Wild West, the club guy that would do all kind of crazy and nut stuff. Thank God we didn't have social media back then because I got away with murder. So uh, it at that time that's what was in doing the nightclub scene, and then I got into car shows. So I started at Small Boots before, and then I actually moved to main stage. So from 2004 up until 2016, any big car show in Hawaii, I either emceed a small booth or I did big booths. So I did any streetcar show off, Neo Street, Swocoms, HIN. HIN, I was the head MC for I think it was 7 or 8 years running. Um, the coolest thing about it, my wife Julie, like she said, she always used to come support me. She's not really all about that car show scene or the girls and stuff. So she literally would sit in back of the stage for like 6 hours and stay there. And she would talk to the models in the back, but she would not leave the back, which I thought was the most supportive thing anybody. Yeah, yeah, but the most supportive thing, she sat in the back and she waited for me. At that time, I wanted to give up emceeing. I really did. I didn't find it as a passion anymore because I was a car show MC. Exactly. See, the look on your face is exactly. That's what I didn't want to be. Just a car show MC. Like there's no statute to that. They're like, oh, what is your job? I'm a car show MC. They're like, okay. So I told my wife at that time, you know what, I wanted to just stop emceeing. And she's like, no, you have a God-given gift. And I was like, what is my gift? She's like, you can talk and MC to people. I was like, stop. Anybody can do it. Like in my head, like at that time, I didn't think I was special. I didn't think that I had a gift. I thought I just did my job. When you asked me to be wild and crazy, and that's what I knew. So at that time, I really didn't think I had a gift. So we were really going to church. And the one biggest turning point for me to actually stop emceeing car show was my daughter, my oldest daughter at that time was becoming 13. Yeah. And then we were going to church and they were asking, like in my heart, it just was pulling like, how am I supposed to be saying I'm a Christian man going to church, and I have a 13-year-old daughter, plus I have a 8-year-old, no, 13, 3 years apart, 10-year-old daughter. Sorry about that. I have a 10-year-old daughter at home, and how am I supposed to reflect that? Like, you're supposed to be this Christian dad, you have daughters at home, you have a beautiful wife, but you still emceeing car shows with half-naked girls, and then about 16 years old starting some home. So in my head, I was already done. I said, you know what, I'm good. And that's when she started implementing, oh, let's start a business. So I said, hey, what do you want to start a business on? She was like, why don't we start it on MC? I was like, yeah, you must be crazy. What you want me MC? And then she's like, oh, you can MC first birthdays, weddings. I was like, you must be out of your mind. Like, I don't know how to do stuff like that. Like, weddings are like, that's a whole nother ballpark. That's a big ballpark. Like, car shows you can get away because you can do all kind of weird jokes. But weddings, you have 250 to 300 people sitting there looking at you and listening to you, so they can eat you alive like that. So for me, I was really scared. Yeah, of course, I did my friends' weddings back in the day, but it was never like what I do now. So at
Mm.
that time, we were going to church, and at church, for a lot of people, they look for that one person they can really connect to. I'm not saying all churches are like this, but at that time at my church, I didn't find anybody I could connect to. Everybody said, "Oh, they understand what we were going through," but the way I think, unless you walk through my shoes or do the same thing I did, you cannot tell me you understand because you don't. In my heart, that was in my heart. So when Pastor Greg Hammer actually gave his testimony, I finally, in my heart, I was like, "Bing!" I looked up to him. He was actually one of my idols growing up in the radio industry and the nightclub industry because everybody knows who Greg Hammer was, and if you don't, then you know him and his wife now, Shawnee and Creator 96. But it just was crazy. Like he gave the same exact story that what my life went exactly through. So finally, I got to go talk to him, and I got to find out that he actually knew my Filipino side of my family, and he was good friends with them. So we joined the marriage group, and from there it just blossomed. Like we were always talking together. So if you don't know who Greg and Shawnee are, and if you're on the internet here, we saved this. Hey, hammer time, Kaden 96.
Avatar.
Hammer time. So these are the guys. So the greatest thing about Greg and Shawnee, they actually were the building foundation of From Above Entertainment. Greg at that time was a wedding MC everybody knew. Shawnee had a great wedding business for about 10 years. They literally helped us start our foundation of From Above Entertainment. So when I was tussling with trying to start a business or just work for my family because and provide, um, come to find out 4 years after we started our business, Greg asked me to lunch. Um, and 4 years later, I found out my wife actually asked Greg to ask me to lunch to try and convince me to start a business. So she lied to me for 4 years.
Because he was so stubborn and he wouldn't listen to me. But
Yeah.
Greg took him out to lunch for 2 hours and he came home.
So yeah, it was honestly like that. It was my wife tried for 6 months. Greg tried for 2 hours.
It's really about just finding that right voice, right?
Yeah, it just
kicking him in the butt.
no, but it was my idea. It wasn't her idea. It was my idea. Just letting you guys know.
Right behind every great person, great person is another person, right? So behind every great man is a great woman supporting him, right?
In a
And
way, but
sometimes
mine's one is behind every great man is a woman kicking him in the butt, telling him he can do it.
exactly.
But
That's why they're in the back.
yes,
They're not in the back. It's not a lack of control. It's because sometimes we need a swift one.
yeah,
We need a swift kick.
or a slap across your neck. Wake up!
Come
So
on.
Greg and, yeah. So Greg and Shawnee helped us start our business. And then from there, it's just been a blessing for the last 4 years.
The first year, because we were still working full time, so we wasn't expecting to do so many events. But this is Hawaii. People love to celebrate and have parties, so
And-
we were really blessed that our business just grew like really unexpectedly.
Just like how my wife said, Hawaii, we throw parties for anything. For any reason, a get together, first birthdays, luau's, doesn't matter.
Right.
Just Hawaii, that's what we're known for. And then come March of this year, we got hit with the craziest thing. Everybody got hit with the craziest thing ever to hit anywhere, COVID-19. So
Yeah.
that rocked everybody's world, and no one. I can honestly say no one was prepared for that. I can honestly tell you, we weren't ready. And I bet you about 85 to 90% businesses wasn't ready. I think nobody was ready for this to have actual lockdown happen. So
Right.
I didn't really take it seriously until we actually had to cancel our trip to Big Island. That's when I knew it was really serious. So the week of, was it the week of? Yeah, the week before the shutdown, we were supposed to leave that Monday to go to the Big Island to take my daughters on a trip just to get off the island before our crazy. Yeah, it just started, and then we found out the week before they're starting to slowly shut down things. So me, I'm very optimistic. I waited to the last minute, but the week before, she was like, "No, I don't want. I just come and cancel everything." I was like, "No, we're gonna write this thing out. No, we're gonna write this thing out." So come that Monday, right before we were supposed to leave, we found out Big Island shut down, and that was the most heartbreaking thing I ever had to have talk to my daughters, tell them that a trip that we've been planning for, I can't take you because I don't think it's right for us to go to the Big Island and not be able to do anything. It's stuck in a hotel. So that kind
Right.
of really set into my head, like, oh, this thing isn't a joke. Like, this is for real. Like, Big Island is shutting down. And that's when we started following the CDC websites. That's when um, they just started doing more updates and shutting down
Right.
venues, hotels. I don't think it hit me then, but I don't think it really hit me until we had our first client call us and actually want to cancel. And I
Cancel.
think that's when it started to really hit me, when I seen all the emails that Julie actually had to take care of. A lot of them I see the emails, but Julie does most of my back end work for me. So it it was a scary time. The beginning first 2-3 weeks was kind of, it was a kind of an easy feeling. It really wasn't an easy feeling because we had our events coming up planned out, and now it's shut down, lockdown. You can't do nothing.
Tell me about that. How did it like? I tell me more about that. Like, how did it affect you guys' business? Like, when you say shut down, explain to everybody what that means.
Okay,
for you
so
guys.
shut down. So in the entertainment business, most entertainers or most mobile companies plan a year to 6 months to a year out for their clients.
Okay.
Sometimes 2 years if they're really want to get everything planned out. So these clients that have booked with us 6 months prior to this even happening. So we stay in contact with them, trying to get all their events ready, and then from there it went from that to planning to shutting down to getting emails of cancellations and trying to save whatever we could. So to put it this way, this time last year, exactly at this time, we were 60 to 70 or about, because last year alone we did 185 events. So by this time of graduation season, we were up and rolling with graduations, and just everything was
Summertime.
rolling already.
Yeah,
Like,
summertime is like the most busiest time for us. But actually, this year was looking to be all year round.
yeah,
Gonna be busy for us.
like we weren't expecting it. We were ready. It just 2020 honestly looked like a good year for everybody. It looked promising, and then March again. This happened to everybody's business. Not only mine, small businesses, corporates, restaurants, hotels, like everybody in the industry, everybody from the smallest job to the biggest job got hit. And it was unprecedented. Like, honestly, I really cannot fathom like how much it affected a lot of people.
So a lot of the clients that I had to communicate through email, we really just try to accommodate them the best that we could, and try to push them to postpone the event to maybe next year, or to a later date, so that way we could kind of help save the industry at the same time. But and not only that, but we empathize for the couples, because we know they were planning, their wedding for so long, like
Right.
a year out, 2 years out. And we know all the hard work that everybody did, not just us as a vendor, but the couples too, doing all the research and, communicating back and forth with all the other vendors. So we really push hard to ask clients to postpone their events and not cancel them.
How successful was that?
Pretty
Were you able to?
good.
90,
We
90,
had only a few cancellations.
yeah, I would say
so
if you take it on a 100% spectrum, I think we did 90% well. Well, my wife did.
And a lot of the clients, they understand too. The clients,
Yeah.
they understand, which was, we're so lucky to have good clients.
An amazing clientele, and it just I just cannot explain how much I empathize with a lot of the clients because it's like how my wife said they've been planning. This is one of the biggest days
Of their life. Yeah.
of your life. It's the biggest thing. Like you have
look
your
forward to.
family, your friends, and it's just this whole big day walking down the aisle, seeing your bride for the first time, getting ready with your groomsmen. Just that whole experience is something different. It's
Right.
just it just and everybody, not only our industries, but we weren't the only ones impacted. There was a lot of students. The graduating class of 2020 also got impacted.
We had
Right.
graduations that we had. They had
Proms, all of that.
Proms, everything. Like thousands and thousands of seniors this year had to not have a traditional ceremony, and that too we felt. We felt that real hard.
And so you've been doing some innovative things like in this time. And I feel, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like, Wes, a lot of that is driven by what you're saying. Like, I felt like you're driven by, oh my goodness, poor thing, these 2020 graduates, how their graduation will be so different.
Yeah.
And so I was wondering if you could speak on some of the different, like how you pivoted the business to provide great memories for these guys, still yet, even though not traditional graduations, not traditional graduation parties.
So one thing, if you don't know me, you can ask my wife, and my wife will say this: I'm not a very stagnant person. I have ADHD and I'm hyperactive, so I cannot stay still. Like
He's always doing
I
something.
have to do something. So when this thing hit, of course, the first 3 weeks was like, oh my god,
Stuck at home.
oh my god,
What
what am I gonna do? Oh my god! But I'm so grateful. My wife was actually saving in the back end for the rainy day fund because it became a rainy day for us. We thought this rainy day fund could be used for something else, not like right now. But how we pivoted is
We actually sat down and we were just talking like, what can we do during this time to help not only our clients and in the class of 2020, because we've just felt like we empathize for them and we feel so bad that they have to go through this, you know, and it's nobody wanted this to happen, but how can we turn it around and, you know, do something positive for the community at the same time and kind of make them have a more memorable event or celebration during this time.
so the one thing that came up. One of my DJs, Mike Fiesta, he came up with this idea. One day he was like, "Oh, why don't we just set up the equipment and go on Facebook Live?" I said, "Okay, perfect." And then Julie's like, "Why don't we try to start a party?"
Like a weekly party.
So then I was like, yeah.
Right.
So then I was thinking, okay, so how are we gonna do this? I'm not a computer savvy kind of guy. I'm not tech savvy, but I found out how to run everything. So through Zoom, OBS, so
We
within
learned everything in like a few days.
yeah, so everything, because our first party we already promoted it for that weekend. So I had to learn everything in 3 days. So my office turned into literally a studio. We set up with lights, everything. No one's been on my Zoom parties.
Yep. So over at Saturdays.
So over Saturdays. So that's what we do, just because we understand and empathize with everybody who's stuck at home. Like we're stuck at home. I'm stuck at home.
We just want to bring joy.
Yeah.
To people,
For
especially
2
during
hours,
this
exactly.
time.
For 2 hours, we play good music. Just for 2 hours, so you guys can at least just relax and just instead of the monotony every single day. Then we started to reach out to schools. Right after we got Sober Saturdays up, then we started to reach out to schools. Any of the contacts we ever worked with within the last 4 years, we started reaching out with them because they knew seniors were coming up. So we reached out to Collar Hill is one of my schools I work with. Kamehameha and Radford. So we reached out to those 3 schools, and I was blessed enough. The last week I got to actually help 3 schools do their graduations.
Yeah.
It was a really good experience. I mean, it was so different because, you know, everything is so different now. It's not your traditional graduation ceremony, but
So do you want me to go into kind of details about all 3 schools and what we did, or?
Yeah, well, talk about the services that you provided. I mean, because it's a whole different type of graduation and a whole different type of party that you had to kind of make on the fly. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I
So-
wanted to make it a little special for them.
So what Radford did is they took the gymnasium, and they turned it into pretty much a ceremony site. So one of our good friends, Elegance by Grace, she draped the whole inside of the gymnasium, and then we provided uplighting, about 40 uplights for the lighting of the students' pictures, plus projection mapping. One of my DJs helped me that day. DJ Lejas was one of my helpers for that day. But the whole takeaway on that graduation, there was a girl that her family was in Las Vegas.
Oh
So
yeah.
Yeah. So her family was in Las Vegas. It was crazy because the night before, they're like, can we do something to get the family on the phone to see if we can show her the graduation? So we're like, oh, we can do FaceTime. So FaceTime went into our projector that we did our projection mapping with. So the day of the graduation, no, you probably seen the post. It's on top
Yep.
our social media page. If you want to see what I'm explaining about, you can check out From Above Entertainment, my personal pages. But we actually surprised the graduate with her family in Las Vegas, who the family actually did their living room. It was so cool. Like they put up the congratulations 2020, and the whole family, the mom, the dad, I think the brothers and sisters were there, or the cousins, or I don't know who was there, but the mom and dad was there. But it was so cool because the girl walked in like a normal graduate, thinking she's just gonna walk and get a diploma. The whole plan was to make her turn around half court, switch the screen. When she turned around, then she realized the parents were on camera watching her, and she just broke down. And by far, out of all the events, all the weddings that I got attached to, that kicked off for me what it was going to happen throughout the weekend. Like that gave me so much more purpose to see that raw emotion and what we could provide to this girl because her parents couldn't come home because of quarantine. That's one thing. That's something that we built our company for. These are the moments we built our company for.
Yeah.
Then comes the biggest project of our 2020 so far. It was a big undertaking. So if you don't know, Kamehameha School is very traditional, very set in a traditional way, and I understand that they're very Hawaiian traditional, follow Hawaiian traditional ways. I do. So when they had to cancel their proms and stuff, they came to us. Danny Ono, who was the guy I was talking to the most from Kamehameha, at one of my DJs, he asked us, "Hey, can we provide a sound system for 4 different locations on campus?" I was like, "What do you mean on campus?" They opened up their school, I think, and the rest of the schools on the island or on the Maui and Big Island, I think they have.
Yeah.
And they did a drive-by lane, drive-through graduation. But just to see that undertaking take place, it was amazing. 4 different locations. My whole team was together in one location at one time, just from 9 o'clock in the morning to 3 o'clock, just hyping these guys up, just making them feel special. To see the cars coming to Kamehameha that are dressed up, I've never seen so many 15-passenger buses.
So these graduations, they have to follow the CDC guidelines and do full social distancing. So they had to stay in their cars. They couldn't get out. And a lot of families were trying to be creative, so they rented the 15-passenger van. They got the whole family
inside, and they brought them up to campus, which was cool. And it was just you cannot put into words unless you were there. What kind of feeling they had.
Feel all the emotions.
I got to see one of my nieces graduate. Her name is Jordan.
Hello?
So after we did the graduation, I went to her drive-by lane just to see her. And I asked the mom. Yeah, so right after that, I was crazy enough to drive to her house and go give her a lane, hang out with her for a little while. But I asked the mom, because the mom is an alumni. I said, how did we do? She said she was blown away. For mom to say that graduated from Kamehameha High School, traditionally, she said she was blown away. Like the energy, the teachers, the staff, just everybody that played a big part. Not only my group, the whole Kamehameha School staff, volunteers, people that lived on campus, like everybody played a big role. And they said they liked it, they loved it, and they couldn't be more appreciated. And she even jokingly said, "How come our graduation couldn't be like that?"
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So moving forward, what do you guys see? Like, what does the future hold for From Above Entertainment?
You know what? Honestly, after this, I can't really tell you. We've had plans like in our head, like okay, we want to do this, but this threw a wrench in our plans. And you know what? Honestly, we just gotta learn how to adapt as we go. Like we cannot be one-minded. We gotta think out of the box. I think any business has to do that now. Like I think it's not only for us as a company, but I think it's everybody in the industry and any industry. Now is your time to adapt. If you haven't been adapting to what's going on or figuring out, okay, how are we gonna do things differently, then I don't want to say this, but I'm gonna say it. It's your business is probably not gonna do well if you don't learn how to adapt. That's the only thing that you can do right now is learn how to adapt and figure out the guidelines, the steps that you need to take to get your business up and running again. For us, it's kind of hard. We are in the phase 4 of opening. So what that means is we're the last to open. We are the very last to open. But that's not going to stop us. We're still doing a virtual party. We're still trying to figure out things that we can do. We can still do parties. We still follow CDC guidelines. So,
That's awesome. Yeah, I saw you did Daniel Tatofi Jr.'s drive-through graduation, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yes, we did.
Right at Pololo Gym. I saw the pool in the
Yeah.
background.
So we actually started so as a company we still can do it like that. I know there's a lot of graduates leaving the islands who probably didn't do a drive-by lane, but pretty much that's what the new norm is. And I asked a lot of these parents, it was crazy. Like traditionally everybody, so I'll take Kamehameha, I'll talk about Kamehameha again because they're usually at NBC. Right after NBC, everybody goes to one area and it's crowded and trying to get a lay and stuff like this. But the parents said they kind of liked it like this because now it's just family coming to the house and giving a lay. And nobody has to fight for parking. Nobody has to, sorry, my son is running behind me.
No.
So, nobody has to do anything like that. It's, I don't know. I don't want to say this is going to become a new norm, but I can tell you one thing for a fact: we're ready for the new norm if it does happen this way.
Right. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, so like I said, the reason why we are doing this interview is to connect local businesses with local people out there. I mean, and I think just the story of your resiliency and your ability to adapt in these times is just something that people have to hear out there because one, it provides hope, and two, maybe it provides them with ideas of how do I adapt and turn and pivot my business and start thinking about that now versus when they open. Like, oh, now we're phase 4. We're gonna wait till phase 4 opens to start because that's too late. And I think thank you so much for your time. How can people contact you? I mean, I'll put something on Facebook so that they know where to find your page. But how can they contact you so that you can make their graduate or any other special occasion that they have be extra special? How can they contact you?
They can contact us on our website, www.fromaboveentertainment.com. You can follow us on any social media platform, IG, Facebook, at the same name. But if you just want music, if you just want to hear good music and you just need to hear some good music, let us know. We can work with you. If you want to do it virtually, we have our party every Saturday night. It's called Soul Word Saturdays. We post a Zoom link in our Facebook page. So if you just want anything, like just give us a call. If you need somebody to talk to, call us.
Yeah,
If you,
totally. And I'll
yeah,
be holding a watch party for So Over It Saturday this Saturday, because if you're like me, sometimes you just need 2 hours of rest and relaxation and get out of your head a little bit and enjoy some music and some, the last time I was on, had a little reunion with Mr. Curtis and hadn't talked to him since like 2000. So that was wonderful. And I always laugh when I see DJ Edit still doing his thing, Brother Ryan.
yep.
So
Ryan
yeah,
is,
yeah.
yeah, DJ Ed is part of my team, and I want to thank you and for just taking your time and doing this for small businesses, because this is like a voice that for a lot of people, because we understand a lot of people, this is far beyond what they're thinking. I understand food, water, if you have family bills, and that's on our minds too. But if I can help with that, it just makes my life, my family life a little better. If I can do that for somebody else, you know what, that if I can put a smile, I'm good. I like
Yeah.
smiles. Smiles make me feel good. And if I can get people involved dancing, even better.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Wes and Julie.
Oh, thank you, Noah.
I'll be talking to you soon.
Yeah,
You
of
guys
course.
take care. Thank you so much for your time.
You too.
All righty. Aloha. All right, I'll end it now. You guys get anything?
Nope,
So good
we're
to see you guys. All right. Take care.
Thanks, Noah.
I'll get children. Hey, tell your mom I said hi. I never see you in a
Okay.
long time. All right.
Okay, bye.